Then I sat and I thought, and I'm like, nah, there's way too many people out there that's so much more consistent than me, right? But it's not a good consistency. It's like there's so many people sitting at home doing the same thing every day, not changing a single thing, right? You guys are consistent. I'm talking to you. If you ain't changed nothing this year, you are more consistent than I am. Because you sat on your ass, you sat on the couch, you did the same thing, you didn't want to improve in life. You guys are way more consistent than me. I ain't lying to you. That makes me laugh, right? But this is a new year coming in, right? We got a new year coming in. We want to change that, man. Look. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the check-in. It's your boy D Money. You know what's up, man. Just chilling as always. It's been a great week. Look, man, Christmas is here. All right. We're at the end of the year and we're about 9-10 days away from Christmas. If you ask me, I feel like Christmas rolled around the corner a little too fast. So if you guys want to postpone Christmas, let me know in the comments. We're going to spread the word and we can all, be relaxed and chill, because I went to the mall the other day and people are running around like crazy. Just because everybody's last minute with the gifts, everybody's not finding what they want. So everybody's like grumpy and like, the energy is just a little off. So if y'all want to push Christmas to the side for me, I ain't mad at you. You know what I mean? Like, but if not, it's cool, man. Because I know every year I do the same thing. I be last minute all the time. And I still end up getting the gifts though. So I'm going to pull up on time. I'm real clutch. So I'm going to handle my business. You feel me? But here's the thing though. All right. So the fact that we're moving towards the end of the year and it's coming in fast, I need you guys to prepare on how you want to approach the beginning of the year, right? When next year comes around the corner, I need you guys to ask yourself a question, right? And that question is, do you want next year to look like this year? Did you have a good year? Some people may have not, right? Some people did. Some people had goals and achieved them, or maybe some people had certain plans and had to pivot out of it and just jumped into something else and still made it work. I don't know what your situation is like, but for the people who tend to every year set up some goals and then 2-3 months, after that, they just stop. I need you to fix that. All right. I need you guys to start changing the way you're thinking, because you're not going to roll into this next year thinking that everything's just going to work out all of a sudden. Nah, you got to make some tweaks, because if you don't, the same process is going to repeat itself. Right. So if you don't want next year to look like it did this year, where you just worked 3 months, 4 months in, and then the rest of the year just didn't go your way, like, you got to change something. You really got to lock in. This year is going to be real different for everybody. Like, I look at myself, right, and how I was approaching this year from last year. And I remember walking into this year and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I want to do something different, right? Like, not an activity, but more so a hobby, right? I want to get into something and just do something different that's going to help me grow and just kind of take up more time in my life where I can feel like I'm doing something productive, right? Which obviously became the podcast. Took a little while, but when it came, I took action and I just moved on it, right? That was very important. Like, the idea popped up and I took action, right? But the other thing was getting a job, right? I wanted to get a different type of job. I wanted to add something else into the mix. And I knew that when the opportunity comes, I'm going to have to jump for it, and I'm not going to have to, waste time debating on whether it's the right job or not. Like, no, we just going to go for it. And that's exactly what happened. As soon as it popped up, I went for it. All right. So this next year, you have to do things like that. When you have opportunities set up, right? Or you have these goals that you're trying to achieve and you set yourself up in a position where you can actually reach it. Don't give up. When you run into a wall, run through the wall. All right. I need you to not slow down at all. Keep the momentum. Keep the pace that you're at, right, from the beginning of the year, because you're going to have this spark. You're going to get your income tax. You're going to feel real great. I need you guys to keep that energy throughout the rest of the year. That's what's important. And I think about this all the time, right, because it's like a lot of people, they struggle with trying to finish strong, right? We'll do good half the year and the rest of the year, it's like we slack off. But that's mainly because there's a lot of people that are actually looking for fast results in a short period of time, right? Somehow we lose the passion, we lose the drive because we expected other results than what the reality of it was actually going to be, right? We have to understand that things don't happen overnight. And it's all about consistency. If you can be consistent with your work ethic and what you're doing to, push yourself forward, you're actually going to get through it, but it requires time, right? We can't be expecting things to happen tomorrow. It just doesn't work like that. And something that I think about all the time that I feel like will actually help, certain people, it's like you want to create an image in your mind of what the end result of what it is you want to look like, right? If you have a crystal clear picture of what it is that you really want, that's going to actually keep you motivated through the process, right? Like for me, I always thought about like, all right, if I was hitting the gym, I knew exactly what I wanted to look like. So every day I walked in that gym, I was going hard just to achieve that image in my mind. I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna look like, right? I'm gonna look buff. I'm gonna look, whatever it is, like whatever it is for you guys, that's what you want to get to, right? So when it comes to the year and you're looking at it, as a big picture, it's like, what do you want your year to look like, right? Create this image in your mind that's so clear. And you have to, want it that bad too. But create the picture in your mind that's so clear that every day you wake up, every day you're putting that foot forward to get something done, it's going to get done because you know what the end result looks like and you want it that bad. And I point some of these things out because I understand that like, I've mastered staying in the zone, right? And I know how beneficial it is when you do that. So like for the last 6 years, I've been working every day, right? No lie. Like I've worked every day besides vacations, besides days that I was forcefully not able to work. I've worked every day. I got up every morning and I showed up to whatever job it was that I was doing. Right. And the reason why I do that, it's not only because, I need some money in my pocket, but it's because like I know how beneficial it is to stay this consistent. Right. When you want to do something later in life, you need to create these habits that are going to drive you to success. Right. So me showing up every day, me, getting up and not even thinking twice and just getting to work and doing what I got to do. That means I'm creating a big habit of being consistent. And with being that consistent, that is actually driving you to being disciplined. When you can be disciplined, oh yeah, that's all you need, right? Because your mind is prepared to take on anything. Your mind knows that you can handle anything and you can do it at a consistent rate, which is great because you're going to need that when approaching businesses, that you want to start up or anything. It's like you'll be able to show up for yourself and you'll also be able to count on yourself every day. And that's what you want to do. You want to be able to create good habits, right? Opposed to bad habits, because like bad habits not going to get you nowhere, right? If you're an employee and you're showing up to work late and you're lazy, you're calling out all the time. When you show up to work, you're not even doing the work. Like that's terrible habits right there. That's not going to help you. So say when you go and you start your own business, if you do that, what do you think is going to happen? The first day, you get lazy, you're going to take the day off. You don't have nobody on your back to tell you that you got to be there, right? That you got to show up to work and you got to get the work done. There's nobody there. So if you're creating bad habits in your daily, life right now, that's going to be reflected when you try to move forward and do something better for yourself. It's just not going to be good. And this is why you got to get used to just working on yourself, right? Start building, because there's not going to be a whole bunch of people always there for you, waiting to give you a handout, waiting to help you through something, waiting to push you. When you don't want to push yourself, you got to stay away from that, right? Like me personally, I never liked handouts, right? I don't like going to people for things. Some people will be like, oh, you're blocking your blessing. Me, nah, I'm not blocking my blessing. I like to learn on my own. I like to make the mistakes. I like to not have to depend on anybody, right? There's a lot of people that will take advantage of other people, even when they don't have nothing to even give them back in return. And I know you don't give things to people, expecting stuff in return, but I feel like if somebody gonna look out for you, you should low-key look out for them too. You know what I'm saying? Like keep good company around you. And that's how I am. And I'm like, I'm not going to take from somebody if I can't hook them back up. If I can't spread some knowledge, if I can't bless you in any way, then I'm not going to be taking advantage of you. That's just not me, So as like I sit back and I reflect on this year, I think about how much I actually gave to more people than I gave to myself, right? And that's something I want to change walking into next year. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I gave to family. I put them in positions. I done took certain things on that I wanted to kind of help them on with. And it worked out good. But I understand also that I'm not where I need to be because I gave so much out, right? I gave so much time, gave so much energy. And I need to regain some of that this next year. So that's something I'm going to be working on, right? So make sure you know what you're going to lock in on and just work on yourself, Like you got to put in the work to see the results, okay? You got to do that. You got to take it seriously. You can't play around with it because there's too many people out here playing. There's way too many people out here playing. I will sit back and laugh because I'm like, you know what? I thought I was the most consistent person I knew, right? Then I sat and I thought, and I'm like, nah, there's way too many people out there that's so much more consistent than me, right? But it's not a good consistency. It's like there's so many people sitting at home doing the same thing every day, not changing a single thing, right? You guys are consistent. I'm talking to you. If you ain't changed nothing this year, you are more consistent than I am. Cause you sat on your ass, you sat on the couch, you did the same thing, you didn't want to improve in life. You guys are way more consistent than me. I ain't lying to you. That makes me laugh, right? But this is a new year coming in, right? We got a new year coming in. We want to change that, man. Look, you might not be able to get the results tomorrow, but if there's one thing that can happen overnight, it's changing your mindset. Just wake up and do something different. It doesn't take much. Just repeat that every day, and you're going to see new results every day. All right, so what we're going to do right now is I had connected with some of the people, you know what I'm saying, that work with me on this podcast that just, you know, help me out all the time. And I have some cards, right? I have things written on these cards. And what I want to do is I actually want to just give you guys my first thoughts on it, right? So we got quite a few. I'm going to shuffle them up a bit. And I'm just going to go in and then we're going to end it off like that. And I'm going to get back to what I got to get done for the day. And I'm going to let y'all do y'all thing. So first one. Let's see. Politics. I don't care for it. I don't give a damn about politics. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's never been my thing. When I turn on the news, I turn it right off. I don't care. I'm tired of the news anyways. I don't care for politics. Underage drinking. I don't condone it. Most of us were underage when we started drinking. I started drinking at like 15. I'm not going to lie to you. We was turning up. We was going crazy. I used to steal my pops, you know what I'm saying, liquor because he always had one in the crib. But yeah, don't drink. If you under 21, don't drink. Gambling. Wow. I'm not, look, when I'm in the middle of gambling, you're going to think I'm a gambler, right? I don't gamble too much money anyways though, but I do like gambling, but I haven't done it in a long time. I'm not attached to it. I don't get addicted like that to, you know, things like that. But when I'm in the middle of it, hey, we get busy. All right. I haven't actually went gambling in a long time. All right. Next one. Intuition. I believe in intuition. I think you should always trust your gut and all that. And if you get those feelings, like, you know, it's a real thing, you should really rock with it. All right. Relationships. That's funny. I don't do relationships like that, man. I don't. I mean, it's gonna come, but like I don't care for them like that. You know what I'm saying? Because people, I used to think about it like in high school. I'm like, yo, as a young kid, I knew. I'm like, yo, if I get in a relationship as a young kid, I'm like, it's probably not gonna last. There's a lot of people around me that had relationships that, you know, were grown folks, and they would tell me like, yeah, we've been together since, you know, middle school or something crazy, or high school. And then like they would break up. And I'm like, the fact that you invested all that time and it didn't work out in high school, I didn't want to be in a relationship just because of that. I was like, nope. All right. Polygamy. To each his own. All right. To each his own. I already seen this one earlier, so I'm not surprised. To each his own. I do know somebody who's into that. And as far as what she told me, you know, it's not the worst. It's cool. Like people really love that. So I'm not against it. I'm not gonna say I'm for it. I'm not gonna say I'm against it. Like, you know, you feel how you feel about it. Love. I don't think I've ever been in love. I don't think I've ever felt that. I love my nieces and my nephews and my mom and my dad. But as far as like, you know, a relationship type thing, I don't think I've ever like been in love like that. Text or phone calls. Text. I think it depends on the person, right? I think it depends on the people that I may text or, you know, require a phone call from. Like there's people that I won't text at all, but I'll call them. And then there's other people that like I just prefer the text. So that's, you know, that just depends on the person. Cheating. All right. Here's a fun fact. I've never cheated in my life. Right. And like I told you, I wasn't big on relationships. So I didn't really have the space and time to be cheating anyways. So cheating is, I'm against cheating. Right. Because like if you cheat on me, like you out the door. If you know what I mean, there's just certain things you can't do with me that I'm gonna give you a pass on. Like I'm not here for the excuses. So cheating is like, yeah, you played yourself. Black Lives Matter. Exactly that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even gotta say too much more. Black Lives Matter. Last show watched. What was the last show I watched? You know what? I can't remember the name of it, but it was the next one that they made after Game of Thrones, right? So once Game of Thrones ended, they did another one. I can't remember what it was, But that joint was trash though. Like I only got, and I love Game of Thrones. Like I couldn't wait. I got in 2 episodes into the new one, and it was dry. I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna finish it, but it was trash. I ain't gonna lie to you. Spending. We got to do better with that. We got to do better with spending, right? My sister's a big, she's a big influence on just budgeting and being smart with money, and she doesn't even have to, but she does it anyways. And it's like, yeah, don't spend your money, save more, invest more. You know what I'm saying? Go that route. Love language, music. You know what I'm saying? I think music and food. That's my love language. Education, very much needed. I think we all need to be more educated. We need to do more homework. You know what I'm saying? Just put your mind in the right space, connect with the right sources. You know what I'm saying? Grow. Homebody. I'm somewhat of a homebody for sure, right? I'm somebody who likes to be out, but I don't be clubbing no more. I don't be doing all that stuff. Most of the time I do find myself at home. So I think as I get older, I am becoming more of a homebody for sure. Entrepreneurship. That's very important to me. I think, for the people who have that drive in them, the people that can manage, what I'm saying, to be consistent with, what they want. It takes a lot to be an entrepreneur because you're going to go through a lot more struggles. But if you built for it, yeah, you're going to make it. Cowboys. This is the one I wrote. They trash. I just want to tell you that. Eagles with 12-1. Stop playing with us. We nice. Wealth. Very important as well. That's something I'm chasing. I'm trying to, create generational wealth. And yeah, I'm going to do everything I can just to get to that point, man. It's very important. Traveling. I used to travel a lot, but I wasn't traveling out the country. I was just like in the States. So it wasn't nothing crazy, but I still plan on traveling some more. It's been fun. I do enjoy traveling. Like that's something you know what I'm saying? I think everybody should just really, if you're stuck in one state and you don't like to travel, I'm going to encourage you to go do it. Go see what the rest of the world looks like. Like the world it's a small place, but it's really big. There's so many different cultures that you can like just happen to just be, walking around and like, yo, wow, they do things like this or they eat this type of food. Like, yo, the world is an interesting place. All right. So clubbing. Like I said, I don't club too much anymore, but definitely growing up, that's all I was doing. Every weekend we was in a club since I was like a teenager, 13 years old, hitting up some spot called Tantric. Like, yeah, we used to go crazy. All right. Child support. That's an interesting one, right? Because a lot of people like to take advantage of that. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of people take advantage of that. They don't be blessing their kids with that money. And they just out here doing wrong, man. So like, I don't like child support. I really don't. Good thing I was never under that. Yeah, I feel bad for what people have to go through when they, and this both sides. I'm not just going to single out the ladies, like, because I'm pretty sure it works the other way too. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just doing wrong out here. Credit is very important. Treat credit like your best friend, right? If your best friend hands you some money, he lets you borrow some money, pay him back, right? Treat credit like that. Credit is going to give you more money the more you pay them back. Depends on, who you with, but definitely credit is so important. You guys should be checking your account, 2-3 times a month. Make sure you're at where you need to be. Make sure you're making corrections, you know what I'm saying, just to keep your credit up. It's very important. You're going to need it. Happiness. If you're not doing anything, you know what I'm saying, that's going to lead to happiness, then you probably shouldn't be doing it, right? Life is short and you need to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Every day I wake up, I have so many reasons to be happy. I pray, I do all that. Like, find happiness and continue with life, through that. Marriage. How do I feel about marriage? I'm not the biggest fan of marriage, but I'm not against it, right? Like, I understand that, yeah, it's gonna come. Like, if I'm a pleaser, so it's like if my girl wants to get married, we're gonna get married. If she ends up feeling like she don't want to get married, then we might not get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not pushing for it, but I understand it's something that comes with most relationships. So I am keeping that in mind, and I know that it makes people happy, makes people feel closer, which it's weird because it's like we should feel that close anyways if we're on that level, but I feel it. So I keep it in mind, and it's something that, yeah, I'm for sure going to consider. But let me tell you some funny, shit about marriage, right? I was on TikTok and I was giving them a poll, and I was trying to tell them, like, not even a poll. I just actually asked them a random question. I was like, yo, how long do you feel like it should take for a man to propose to you? And what they told me was the average number was 2 years. And not that that's a bad thing. It's just I never expected the number to be that low, because I've known so many people who got engaged, like 8 years in. right? Like they didn't get a proposal till 6 years in, right? Crazy. So for me to hear them say 2 years, it threw me off. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, damn. And my mind is set on a certain thing where I'm thinking 2 years is way too short. Like, damn, 2 years. Like, you better learn everything about that person in those 2 years, which it is a long time, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about it, right? Let me know in the comments. We can have a further discussion about this because I don't know, it threw me off. But anyways, look, I'm letting y'all go. I got some stuff I got to handle today. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Look, it means a lot if you guys like, the video, if you was enjoying it. Definitely comment. Let me know what you thought. Share it to some friends, you know what I'm saying? And make sure you get up and get to it, man. Every week we're going to be pulling up on you. Appreciate the love. I'm out of here. Peace.